Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, June 23rd. We're calling to order the City of Carson Enhancement Infrastructure Financing District, Carson EIFD Public Financing Authority. To order, Madam Secretary.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Chairperson Davis Holmes,
Present.
Vice Chair Terosis,
Present.
Board Member Deer,
Present.
Board Member Pandolfo.
Present.
We have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you. In accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, if you require disability-related modification or accommodation to attend or participate in this meeting, including auxiliary aids or services, please call the Community Development Office at 310-952-1700, extension 1310, at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. The public may address the Public Financing Authority on any matters within the jurisdiction of the Carson Enhancement Infrastructure Financing District or on any items on the agenda. Prior to any action taken on the agenda, there will be two oral communication sessions, one for agendized items and the other for non-agendized items. The oral communications portion of the agenda will be limited to a duration of 1 hour unless otherwise approved by the board. Comment time is normally 3 minutes, depending on the number of speakers. Public viewing availability by live stream on the City of Carson's website. The meeting will be live streamed over the internet via www.carsonca.gov or YouTube, www.youtube.com/C/City of Carson, California official YouTube page. Cable TV Spectrum Channel 35 and AT&T Channel 99. If you're unable to attend the meeting in person, public comments can be submitted before the meeting at AT/VA. Email comments can be emailed to ewan@carsonca.gov. Please identify Carson EIFD in your comments. The cutoff time to submit any email communication is 8 a.m. on the day of the question. Written or handwritten comments can be dropped off at the Community Development Department. The cutoff time to submit any email communications is 8 a.m. on the day of the meeting. Written communications dropped off at the Community Development Office or any email will be delivered. Email received will not be read aloud, but will be circulated to the PFA and incorporated into the minutes. Madam Secretary, are there any oral communications?
None received.
Thank you. Item number 1, approval of the minutes from June 24th, regular meeting.
Move approval, Madam Mayor. Oh,
Second.
Are we voting electronically or verbally? Verbally. Roll call.
Madam Mayor, before we vote, let's have discussion. There's a correction if I find.
On the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me take a look here. I wrote some notes. Let's see. With my teacher's red pen, if I can find where I wrote those little marks. Okay, so the minutes are action minutes, not verbatim minutes.
Yes.
So
Correct.
that's correct, right? Yeah, okay. So, give me a moment here. I wrote it on a different piece of paper. There's some grammatical errors, and I'm sorry I didn't put my red pen to these grammatical errors on this copy. I have it on a different copy. My apologies. I'm so sorry. I didn't write the notes on this page that I have. So I know we don't want to go through the entire minutes, but maybe, Madam Mayor, for the future, we can do a grammar check on some of the minutes. Let me see if I have.
Did they change any of these statements just
Yeah,
grammatically?
you know, the gist of the message is still accurate. So I was just going to correct those. And again, I apologize. I didn't write the notes like I had. I made a copy of this and wrote notes on it. I didn't bring it, so let's see if I have at least one that makes sense here. Let's see. Report. Please bear with me about 60 more seconds here. I believe it was in one of my comments. Let's see. Do something here.
Madam City Attorney, we can approve the minutes. When is our next meeting? Not for a while, huh?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I'm just going to vote to approve the minutes. But
Perhaps you can
Yeah, I
give
can-
your
I
red line
can-
version to them and they can.
actually, it's an annual meeting, so we're not going to approve this again until next year, right? Okay,
We're not
so
gonna have any meetings
That
in
being the
between.
case, I'll just vote to approve the minutes, but
You may call for a special if you need to.
afterwards I can amend it, or?
Oh, you can give her your red line copy.
Yeah, I'll give you the red line copy, and then you could check it out. It's just grammar. The motions, everything were accurate, and so it's just grammar. So I'll give a red line copy after the meeting's over. I've got it at my house. Thank you very much. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the indulgence.
It's been moved and probably second. Roll call, madam.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Item numbers 2 and 3 is presentation. Staff, Madam.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We are going to provide a brief presentation for item number 2, which is the current development projects within the Carson EIFD boundary. Currently, our manager of special projects, Mr. James Nguyen, is going to provide you all with a brief update and presentation at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Executive Director, and good morning, Honorable Chair and members of the Carson EIFD Public Financing Authority. Item number 2 is a presentation on current development projects within the Carson EIFD boundary. So just some background, projects that are developed within the EIFD eventually generates incremental property tax to the district. And so the more projects that are completed means more revenue are added to the EIFD. So up on the screen, you see the 2023, which is essentially the base year of the district. We had at that time 322 acres under development. We have now, since last year, we've moved a little bit more to 325 acres, the development, more moving towards the completion stage. And this year we have 20 new acres moving towards development. So this is a map of 2024 of all the projects that are located in the EIFD. Projects are in review are in blue, approved in orange, under construction in yellow, and completed in red. And this is in 2025. You see more and more projects are moving towards the completion stage, which means more revenue will be generated in the EIFD in the coming years. The undeveloped areas are the areas shown here in purple. We excluded LA County's Victoria Golf Course and the university, as the land use is not typically under city's purview, but the areas that are to remain redeveloped are in purple. Going over completed projects, here's all the one in red. Some of them you guys saw last year. The Carson Landing project, 175 units of residential, that's all completed now. In and Out, that's recently completed, located near the mall. Starbucks, this is across the street. Panettone Warehouse, 3 industrial warehouses on 223rd Street, now completed. Centerport Warehouse to the north on Avalon Boulevard, 113,000 square feet warehouse, now completed. Sand Hill Warehouse, this used to be a Yoplait factory. It since got redeveloped, 122,000 square feet. And the last one on this list is Alondra, a 286,000 square feet warehouse to the north. Next, we'll move on to projects under construction. So this one is the Envision Carson. This is located 2 blocks north of City Hall. It consists of 1,100 mixed-use development.
Yes.
Apologies for interrupting, but your address is incorrect on the screen.
Okay, I can,
That address would put it just 100, maybe 50 yards north of 223rd Street.
I believe that's a typo. It's 21207 South Avalon, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I was wondering, I said, that doesn't look right. Thank you.
thank
Good
you.
eye, huh?
I saw it last night, but I thought it was just me.
I did a little Google search, and there's a small 5 storefront strip mall at that address. And you're not going to put 1,115 units in that space. So that caught my attention.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Is
welcome.
it currently a mobile estates park, or was it a mobile estates park?
was.
Okay, then it's 212. Okay.
Okay. So we got 1,100 units of development that's coming up there. Grading activities has started. This one is the pickleball court. Phase 1 has been completed, and phase 2 is forthcoming. Carson Lofts, this is 19 units on Main Street. That's under construction. The picture you see up there is as of last week. Brookfield Warehouse, this is a large 430,000 square feet warehouse. It's almost completed, as you can see on the screen. The LAT 223rd, this is another 124,000 square foot warehouse on the southeast corner of the city. And Birch, this is a residential project near the 110 freeway, 32 units. All of these are under construction. So next we'll move to the approved, but not yet under construction. This includes a 62 unit residential development near the Dominguez Channel. It's called the Perry Street Residences. Then comes the Carson Triangle. This is also right across the street from the Envision Avalon project, the 1,100 units. So this one is 283 market rate and 32 affordable flats. So a lot of residential units coming near City Hall. This one is a Town Place hotel, 111 key room located right across from IKEA. This one is the district industrial. This is on our 157 acres and includes 1.567 million, square feet of industrial development. Also includes a park, 12 acres, open space. This is the outlet mall, 700,000 square feet. And so that wraps up the approved project. And last, we'll touch the in-review projects in our EIFD. So that includes the Dutch Brothers. This is right across from the mall. And a University Village, which is on the corner of University and Central. So, so that generally concludes staff presentation on the status of development projects in the Carson EIFD. Thank you.
Any questions from my colleagues?
I have a couple.
Thank you.
So just really quickly on the Carson Triangle, are those units for sale or for rent? Because it says townhomes.
For sale.
They're for sale. I would be curious to know how they're doing the affordable for sale, just off the, like not here, but just generally speaking, how that's being financed. Are the rest of the units that are being developed for rent or for sale?
Yeah, I think for sale is in the market right now. So a lot of our development projects
So-
are all for sale.
Okay, got it. And
There's
then,
some low income in there also, aren't there? 38?
right, but what I'm saying is that like due to the financing mechanisms for low income, you have some sort of deed restriction on the for sale for low income units? Or are the low income for rent?
I don't believe that I don't think there's any units that are actually going to be listed for rent. I think
Okay.
it's all going to be
Great.
For sale.
I would love to just learn more about how you guys did that. On the District Outlet Mall, is that project fully entitled?
Related to what?
This
What is it
project?
related to?
No, I said, is it fully entitled?
Oh, entitled.
It is. To the best of our knowledge, it is.
Okay, so all of the projects that are like in development, with the exception of these like last two at the back, the Dutch Brothers Coffee and the University Village, have all been entitled, I presume.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
if it's approved, it's entitled.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Councilman? Board member?
Yes, I have questions as well. Thank you, Mr. Nguyen. The Dutch Brothers Coffee, that one is approved already? Had administrative approval or something like that? It's
that
going
one's
to
under.
replace the Pizza Hut, is that correct?
It's in review. It's not approved yet.
I thought it was
Okay,
approved.
I thought it was, okay.
Thought it was approved.
All right, so that's one. The next one, University Village, northwest corner of University and Central. So they're going to put 2 fast food restaurants. We couldn't get a sit-down table service restaurant at that location. I think that's what the people in the area want.
I think that's just-
You've heard this many times from all of the elected officials, that we are inundated with fast food restaurants galore all over the city of Carson. And the more fast food restaurants we have, the less attractive we become for, name brand, sit-down table service restaurants. We want to get, hopefully, Red Lobster, that type of a restaurant to come into Carson. And so why are we encouraging or supporting or entertaining fast food restaurants when I think the mayor and I, we've spoken about this before. Sometimes it's appropriate to put a fast food restaurant in, but it seems like that's all we're getting. In-N-Out Burger is very popular. There's a long line every day. I drive by every day and see that. But again, more fast food restaurants. Any way we can intervene in the University Village site with maybe 1 fast food instead of 2, or at a sit-down restaurant?
In response to that, I think they've already met with the community and we've already said, so is this in concept?
Yeah,
or-
this is in concept.
This is
so,
just in concept, because we've already told them that we didn't want that. The community did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just in concept, they have to go back to the drawing board, basically.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I would just concur, living literally blocks from that development, I would concur as a resident of Carson as well.
Yeah, we've already said no. And like you said, it's in concept.
University.
The University Village, because it's also rumored that the Boys and Girls Club was going there.
That's right, yeah. About an acre of it.
And
will be-
I think you, Madam Chair, and the board, the council is already looking to enact aspects
Yeah.
regarding the fast foods restaurants that are being proposed in the city as a whole. So that should be coming forward shortly.
But again, this is just in concept.
Yeah, this is in concept, and the purpose of showing these development is to say that there eventually will be development and an increment in revenues to the district. In terms of approval of the project, that's not in this area of purview, or at least in my area of purview, and I'll defer to the planning division on that.
Right.
So my question would be, if it's in concept only, why not the concept that the council has verbalized that we wanted? Why not include the Boys and Girls Club in this? Why not include a sit-down restaurant? There's enough income in that area to support a really nice table service restaurant. And the fast food, they're probably going to be this is drive-through right there. So my question, this is a policy question for the planning department. Why not present the concept the way we would like to see it happen in the future? Knowing, again, it's not approved yet. It's just a concept. You see my point? In other words, instead of presenting a concept of something that we really don't like, why not present a concept that we like?
Yeah, that's doable for this presentation.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause
well,
we've been
so
loud and clear.
next time we have a meeting, it might be altered, is what you're
yes.
suggesting?
Yes.
Okay, very good, thank you.
The concept will be approved.
Right.
And then last question on that, is it still Carson Companies that owns that little plot of
I
land, that
believe
5
so.
acres? Okay. Thanks.
That's correct. Carson Company owns it. Madam. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to state for the record, we have Board Member Reddick Wright present.
Hi, board member.
Okay, Madam Mayor, I have another question.
Okay.
Another one.
Board member.
Okay. You don't have them numbered, so I'll just go with the name, the District Industrial Park, Carson Place. That is on the Cal Compact landfill site. Can you go to that one on the screen, please? So it's actually, if you look at the map, you'll see it's 11.12 acres for this really nice open space, flex space lawn, dog park, play area, botanical garden, and more. The more is going to be little cafes, cafe, restaurant. Is that what more means?
That's correct, sir, yes.
Okay. And then, so that's about, so that's under 12 acres. And then the other 84.88 acres is going to be warehouse and parking lots for the warehouse. Okay. So we as a council ask that this open space be developed first. Is that still in the plans, or has that changed?
I can say yes to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the board has met, and that is one of our requests, that it be developed first.
First, yeah. Very good. And then, of course, the adjacent, the next slide, the district outlet mall, that is encumbered right now with a litigation, but hopefully that litigation will be over soon. And then the other comment I have to make about the develops in general, most of these are private property, and most of them are private development with private funding, not city funding. So we don't have PLAs on these projects because of that. Is that correct? Okay.
That'd be correct. Yes,
All
sir.
right. So then,
But the, Mr. Board Member, but the developers have met with the unions, and they've come up with an agreeable plan of action. They've
we
met-
hope so.
Yeah, they've met. It's not, so they had several meetings.
Well, we've seen how that verbal promise has been put forward and then not followed through in writing. I think some of these might be in writing at this point. And of course, we're a third party to that, but we should encourage it all be signed on the dotted line, so to speak. Okay, so the tax increment that our finance district gets is based on the property tax. Is that correct? Okay. For
Yes.
for our fellow members from the county, you're surely aware of this, that City of Carson incorporated 1968 with zero share of the property tax. And if we had the average property tax with cities throughout the county of LA, we would be sitting pretty today. But we're way, way below.
I unfortunately,
So,
our treasurer tax collector on that one, sorry.
yeah. So,
Just for your information.
you know, we really want to encourage the development that creates sales tax as well, because the city of Carson lives or dies on sales tax, so to speak, in for us making our city a wonderful community. So we would like to have support from the county whenever we can get commercial property developed. That's the general statement. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Yes.
I think this comment is probably beyond the purview of this commission as well. But as I'm looking at the housing development and even the warehouse development, and just thinking about the fact that this is going to bring lots of new cars, traffic, people, et cetera, into the city, which is great. But are we in planning, are they thinking through the traffic implications and how we manage potential gridlock with the influx of new people that will be coming into the city. And I'll just add to that, one of the things I love about living in Carson is that we don't have the same kind of gridlock that we see, traffic gridlock that we see on the west side. No disrespect, places like the beautiful beach cities. But hoping that we don't get to that place like what we see in other parts of LA County.
Yes, so, Madam Board Member, traffic studies are always conducted once projects are proposed. I mean, and to your point, this conversation is probably more geared towards, for planning and for our traffic engineer, as far as the inquiry. But just in general, any project that's approved through the city always goes through a process in which a traffic study is conducted to ensure that there isn't just such that as you're mentioning. To boot, for currently what's there listed on the as we call it, the Carson place, for that particular project, our assistant city manager John Raymond is actually in the process of having that road built. So that way, one, that does eliminate some of the concerns as what you mentioned. Two, also incorporate and anticipate the additional traffic for the various aspects of that particular area that's being developed, or hopefully to be developed once litigation is complete. So, yes, definitely has been studied on, I think, more times than not. But we don't anticipate I mean, we want to see the people, and we want to see some traffic, because that means there's obviously, hopefully, the sales tax that we hope that would come in and be generated from the cars that are visiting. But as far as the gridlock, we don't anticipate due to the traffic studies that have been conducted.
Any more questions? Well, this is a receive and file. The next item is the next presentation, number 3.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, item number 3 is a presentation of the City of Carson for the US EPA and DTSC ECRG grant awards. So happy to have that presented again by our Manager of Special Projects, Mr. James Wynn.
Good morning again. Okay, so in terms of incentivizing development, trying to get them off the ground so that they can fully develop and generate revenue towards this district, one of the things we are pursuing or have been pursuing is the pursuit of brownfield grants. So our brownfield grants, really, the purpose is to really incentivize new developments, get them catalyzed, because in Carson, we have a disproportionate amount of contaminated land due to former landfills, refineries, and whatnot. And so with the revenues generated from, with these external grants, that could potentially serve as a catalyst to developing more sites in Carson and specifically in the EIFD. So some background on this. So cities adopted several policies prioritizing brownfields over the past 3 years, and we have since really been acting on those policies. The policies are included via city resolutions, general plan policies, or our economic development strategic plan. So on that, we received 3 grants within the past year. One is $236,000 for additional site investigation. This one is on a property located in our EIFD, 24-acre site. Trying to get that site redeveloped and into a use that would generate jobs, and get the site remediated. Also, we have our $500,000 EPA grant from last year that we are using to tackle citywide brownfields. And most recently, within the past couple of weeks, we received a $1 million grant from the US EPA to establish a revolving loan fund in which we can work with now other entities, including private entities, getting their property cleaned up and developed. Some other grants that we've received previously are listed on the screen. They're mostly from the state's ECRG grant. We also listed an acquisition grant for a a former gas station. So it somewhat is a brownfields project, but it's not directly a brownfields grant. So over the past 3 years, we have secured over approximately $4.4 million. So that's a lot of funding towards brownfields, and that can eventually benefit this EIFD. One upcoming grant, and this idea actually stemmed from the board here.
Excuse me 1 minute. I didn't interrupt your presentation. If you can go back to that slide, and you kind of ran over. Could you read the last statement so that way the board it's clear?
Okay. So yeah, we have received more brownfield grants, brownfield or brownfield related grants. Actually, 8 of them, all of which are competitive, totaling $4.4 million in the past 3 years. That's more brownfield funding that we've ever gotten compared to the previous 25 years, and we do have a 100% success rate even at the federal level. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we thanked you before at our other meetings, so this is great. Thank you.
thank you. And then this one is actually it came from the idea came from Vice Chair Torosis about the brownfields job training, getting people in our community cleaning up sites that are formerly contaminated. And so the EPA is expected to release a brownfields job training grant later this month. We've already started preparing for it months in advance. And so we're working with our workforce and investment board to try to, get people who are going to need jobs as a result of the closing refineries with more jobs. So this application is due probably later in the fall, and we'll find out next year.
That's great. I think obviously with the current federal administration, nothing is really sure or clear as to what's happening right now, including our workforce development funding overall. I would also just let you know that, in case you all weren't aware, the county is actually working on a career pathway program into county jobs for laid off refinery workers as part of our just transition strategy. So to the extent that we can connect you all with the County Department of Human Resources and County Department of Economic Opportunity to further strengthen this application, just to let folks know, like, we have some skin in the game. We're actually identifying jobs and holding them open and available for these folks that we've been directly communicating with to figure out what transferable skills they have that we can use to get into public sector civil service jobs. Happy to talk about that.
Great.
Thank you.
Mr. Board Member Deere.
Yeah, thanks, Madam Chair. Yeah, that's really good to hear because obviously some of these positions are going to be temporary jobs for cleanup of a site. And I've always said we're looking to, and the county I'm sure is thinking the same way, create career paths for folks. And that's really what it's all about for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member.
Madam Mayor, related to that, the closing refineries, is there a plan for what happens to those sites? Are they required to clear the sites or level them?
Mr. City Manager.
Other development plans for them, or it's too early to know?
Well, no, actually, for currently Phillips 66, they're actually going through a decommission period right now. Once the decommission period is completed, then there is hopes that there would be a redevelopment project in the works. They've been very open to working with our Madam Chair and some staff to kind of discuss some of the thoughts and ideas that they have as that initial project. It'll go out for RFP eventually, but they have been in contact with the city as to what the city would potentially like to see redeveloped on that particular brownfield. But they're working obviously with DTSC and in hopes to be able to do something more palatable, if you will, for the city and for what the mayor and council would like to see.
We've had about 3 or 4 meetings on that site already. Yeah, so they've been at the table. Madam Board Member?
I was just saying Phillips 66 also came and chatted with our office, and my understanding is that it's a multi-year process before you can even think about doing anything on the site.
Mm-hmm. Any other comments? You can continue.
Okay. On the next slide, this is just a side-west side showing it's across from the Porsche Experience Center and all the proposed boring locations. So this is what a brownfield would fund, type of, drilling in and figuring out what's underneath. So yeah, you can determine what can ultimately get built. So this is what it looks like. That's the unique aspect of here in Carson. We don't have, green lands where we can just build just from scratch. You have to work from a little bit from behind and try to get these sites up to where they can actually be developed. We also formed a Brownfield Advisory Committee with our local university to do a lot of the marketing. I know that questions was raised here last year. And on the advisory committee, and this is staff initiated, by the way, on this advisory includes members of our Economic Commission, our Planning Commission, and Environmental Commission, as well as the South Bay Workforce, universities, public health. We put in much everyone we could think of that has to do with brownfields on this committee, and so we're working with them on marketing it beyond the normal city avenues. And this is just some of the flyers that the university students made. We have started going out to our city events to let people know that, ask them what they want to see in Carson and, where should we focus our attention in utilizing these brownfield grants. We also have this nomination form. People can, write what they want to write on brownfields in Carson and learn more about it. That concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you. Are there any further comments on this presentation? It's a receive and file also. Item number 4 is a public hearing on the Public Financing Authority to consider any written or oral communications. Consider resolution number 2501 to adopt the Carson EIFD annual report for fiscal year 2024 and 2025. We're going to open the public hearing. Were there any comments, Madam Board Secretary?
No comments received.
Any discussion by staff? Okay, we'll close the public hearing.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to waive further reading and adopt resolution number 25-001.
Been moved and properly second. Discussion from the board?
I'll second it. Or
Hearing-
did you second it?
I didn't.
You didn't? Okay, I'll second it.
Hearing no further discussion, roll call.
Chair Davis Holmes,
Yes.
Vice Chair Terosis,
Yes.
Board Member Reddick Wright,
Yes.
Board Member Deere,
Yes.
Board Member Pandolfo.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item number 6. It's an annual meeting and election of authority board secretary pursuant to Carson EIFD bylaws. Staff.
We're actually on number 5.
Item 5, Madam
5.
Chair.
Okay, staff.
Okay, good morning, everyone, again. Okay, this item number 5 is the adoption of the budget for the EIFD board. So just some quick highlights. Staff's anticipating about $800,000 in revenue in this upcoming fiscal year. Our EIFD infrastructure financing plan allocate funds towards affordable housing, the Victoria Golf Course, and all the other city projects listed on the IFP. And so we also have unspent funds from the Victoria Golf Course and the affordable housing projects from years prior. Right now, we're in the stage of collecting enough revenue, to get enough revenues. We anticipate future budget figures to be more, predictable as EIFD grows out of its nascency stage. We're in the early stages, so the numbers are a little bit at flux. We've just recently resolved some numbers with the county auditor controllers regarding the motor vehicle license fees calculation. So there's a lot of little things here that needs to be cleaned up. And even at the state level, there are legislation that is being moved, actually just recently passed the Senate that has cleanup language to the EIFD bill. So just some background on where we are on the numbers. So the revenues projected for next year is as follows: 320 for Victoria Golf Course, 320 for all other EIFD projects, and 160 for affordable housing. And this is consistent with the 20% set aside for affordable housing, and the Victoria Golf Course set aside as called out in the IFP and the MOU. For expenditures, we rolled over the $300,000. I know last year Vice Chair Torosis requested $300,000 for pre-development costs for Victoria Golf Course. We kept that the same this year because it has not been spent in the past year, so we kept that number the same for now. And then in terms of the EIFD projects, that's we originally approved the formation reimbursement, so the $320,000 would go towards reimbursing the city for the forming the EIFD. So the anticipated balance at the end of next fiscal year is as follows. Our affordable housing funds are stacking up. We think all the EIFD costs, formation costs would be covered and all ongoing operations costs will be covered. But again, the numbers may need to be revised once we get closer to the end of the fiscal year. And the Victoria Golf Course would have leftover funds for the project in the future years. That concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you.
I have a question. Sorry that I don't know this, but does the city of Carson have an affordable housing trust fund?
No, we don't.
So where do you put the money for affordable housing?
So we have a variety of sources. So our housing authority has a low and moderate income housing asset fund, and then EIFD has its own housing set aside funds, and then the city potentially has its own funds.
Got it. But it's not as though projects are applying for tax credits in the city of Carson and need like supplemental financing, and you would have a trust fund that would give them that money, right? Like, have you all produced any 100% affordable housing projects?
I don't think we produce anything in
JR.
recent years.
It's all inclusionary, is what I think you're saying.
Yeah. We'll have our assistant city manager in economic development, John Raymond, come up and assist.
Thanks.
Is there,
It's on now.
it's on. Madam Chair, in the last 10 years, the city through its housing authority has done 300% affordable projects. We did Bella Vita with affirmed housing on Sepulveda, 65 units of senior housing. We did Veterans Village with Thomas Saffron at the corner of Carson and Figueroa, 51 units of veterans housing. And we did 46 units of artist housing on Main Street, Main Street with Meta Housing.
Great.
The last two opened in 2019, and so the Bella Vita opened in 2018, I think.
But there's been no consideration of depositing the funds as we continue to generate more revenue into some sort of trust fund to generate money for.
So my understanding is they go into the housing. They would go on the housing authority.
And do these affordable housing developers come to the city of Carson and say, "Hey, I need gap financing for this project because it's really hard right now to get tax credits"?
Exactly.
Okay.
So Saffron, Meta Housing, affirmed. Those are the developers that we've worked with in the past, and other developers have come forward.
Okay, and then I mean, of course, you all know that the county has a NOFA process for affordable housing as well, and we'd be happy to help and partner in any way because the affordable housing commitment is very important to Supervisor Mitchell.
That's correct. I just want to add one other project. It was a refinance of Carson Terrace that we did in 2020, I think, or 2021. And I think they got, it might have been conduit bond financing, I think, through the county. And that was I forget the nonprofit partner, but they did work with the county on that.
Thanks. And then those are all my questions. Just with respect to the Victoria Golf Course project, I do have a statement I want to read because we are in active litigation, and so I can't say too much. However, the county is still looking to redevelop a portion of or all of Victoria Golf Course to increase open space and community-serving uses while incorporating a balance between recreational and visitor-serving commercial and revenue-generating uses. Also looking to retain a golf component. Any development plan must include substantial free public amenities delivered at the same time as the commercial development and operation. With funding from the Carson EIFD, the county intends to conduct a community engagement process to identify uses and benefits desired by the community and stakeholders in order to inform a subsequent RFP to identify a development partner for the aforementioned community benefits. As you know, we do not currently have any development partner. As part of an overall transaction, providing the developer the right to construct and operate revenue-generating recreational and/or visitor-serving commercial uses, the developer will be expected to fund the open space and community benefits. Partial public funding in the amount of $10 million will be provided as per the Carson EIFD or IFP. And it is our intent to engage that consultant and start work within the next 120 days. I understand that folks are frustrated given the lengthy and protracted litigation situation that we have, but that is all I can say at this point.
Thank you.
And we're very sensitive to the fact that you have the Olympics coming here, and you've done a lot of work to showcase Carson as like a regional jewel, and we would love to be able to move as quickly as possible. Trust me.
That's good to hear. Thank you. Any comments from staff? Not hearing none.
None, Madam Mayor.
Board members?
Just one question on Victoria. Is it both sides of Martin Luther King, so where the pool is and that park, and then also the golf course, so the entire property, or is it just the golf course side?
My understanding is that it's just the golf course.
I actually do have a question, Madam Chair.
Yes.
What about the road itself? Is the county interested in participating in fixing the worst street in our city?
Joe, is that in the IFP? Yes, right? Yeah, I mean, we're definitely interested as soon as you saw how much money we're generating. It's not that much yet, but I believe that that's part of the infrastructure financing plan, but I'll defer to the expert here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe it's in there. MLK.
It's a roller coaster. Okay, this is item 5 is waive further reading and adopt resolution number 25-002.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Roll call.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Very efficient, Sandy.
Item number 6 is annual meeting and election of authority board secretary pursuant to the Carson EIFD bylaws. Staff.
Okay, thank you. So this item, so our EIFD bylaws require at least one meeting per year, and this meeting is our annual meeting. It's the only meeting since the last year. Just want to mention that our secretary, Katie Pandolfo, will be moving on.
She's gone. Yeah.
So she has indicated that today will be her last meeting serving on this PFA. So her position technically ends June 30th, 2026. So an election is needed among the 4 board members to assign one of the 4 remaining board members to the position of secretary. And this would continue to the end of the term, June 30th, 2026.
Well, can we hear from our board member that's leaving us?
Yes, I just want to thank all of you. This has been an amazing process. I did accept a role to be the GM at Crypto.com Arena, and thank you. So it's definitely a promotion, still with AEG, so still in the family. So Carson and the property here definitely still near and dear to my heart, but 21 years here in Carson. This board has been absolutely incredible, and watching the transformation of Carson over the last 20 years has been an honor to be a part of. But with my new role and not being in Carson every day, I felt it was best to step down and let somebody who will be working here every day assume this role. But I will still be here if anyone needs anything. So thank you.
Board member.
Oh, I would just say congratulations, and hopefully we'll still be working with you just in a little bit of a different capacity.
Yep.
And I guess that means we'll have to find someone to replace her.
Yes.
Oh, no. Congrats.
There are amazing people in this business community. So anyone would die to have this position and understand everything that goes on in this city and all the inner workings. So you will have no problem finding someone.
Well, you're gonna be a hard act to replace, so. But
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Katie's been here. I watched her grow up, so thank you. The kids are how old now?
Going into their senior and sophomore year. So perfect time to take on a new role with a little bit broader responsibility and time commitment. They're in high school. They don't need me anymore. Going to college.
Board member Deere.
I had already expressed my congratulations to Katie some time ago when I heard about her promotion and advancement in her career, and we were looking forward to many good things. Don't make yourself a stranger here, come and visit us whenever you want. And we just really are excited also for you and your whole family for your promotion. You're welcome.
Board member Riddick Wright. Any comments?
Congratulations, and we accept all field trips.
Exactly.
Learning opportunities.
Well, the matter before us today is to replace her with one of the four. And so I'm going to nominate Board Member Reddick.
I accept. I would like to think it's because, you're so skilled and the right person, but I know we only have so many board members to choose from. So I accept. Thank you.
So we don't need to vote that. Put to a vote. She already accepted. Great. Thank you. So our new secretary for the ending June 30th, 2026 will be our Board Member Riddick Wright.
Thank you. And the duties are on the screen, but Sandy Solis here will take on all of those duties if he wishes.
Oh, just thank you.
Congratulations, Sandy.
Thank you. And thank you, Board Member Riddick Wright, for accepting.
Congratulations,
Now-
Secretary Reddick Wright. I said congratulations, Secretary Reddick Wright. You're welcome.
Oral communications for matters not listed on the agenda from any members of the public, Madam Board Member, Secretary.
No, none received.
Oral communications for members on the board members. Hearing none, this wonderful meeting is adjourned.